Okay, boys and girls, today we're going to learn about a Venn diagram and comparing and contrasting two different things. So for example, today we're going to compare and contrast whales and fish. So on this sample Venn diagram, I'm going to label the Venn diagram and write whales and fish. Let's talk about the different characteristics of whales and fish. A characteristic is something that's used to describe something. So let's talk about the different characteristics of whales and fish. What is it that whales have? What is their characteristics? And what do they both have in common? Do whales and fish both live in water? That is something that they have in common. That is how they are both similar. So we can write that they both live in water. So we can write that here in the middle because both whales and fish live in water. That is something that they share in common. What is something else that both whales and fish have in common? Well, both whales and fish have fins because they both live in water. They both have fins. So we can write that in the middle because that is something that they have in common. That's how they are also similar. So we can write that in the middle of our Venn diagram. Both whales and fish have fins. So we're going to write that here in the middle. How else are whales and fish similar? Do they both live in water? Yes, we know that. So they both can swim. So we can write that here in the middle also. Both whales and fish can swim. So we have, for now, completed the middle part of our Venn diagram of how whales and fish are similar. Now let's talk about how they are different and list their different characteristics and describe them. How are whales and fish different? Let's think about how they are different, perhaps maybe on the outside. Let's think. Whales, how are they different from fish? Let's see. Fish, their outer coverings maybe. Fish have scales on their outer covering. So we can say that fish have scales. And whales have hair. On their body they have hair. It's a very fine hair. They tend to lose this hair over the course of their life, but they do have very fine hair. How else are whales and fish different? What are some other characteristics of whales? Well, whales are mammals, and so how are they different from fish? Whales, how do they give birth to their young? They're mammals, and so they give birth to live babies, and so they have live births. But how are they different from fish? Well, fish, they lay eggs. They do not have live birth. So whales are different from fish because fish lay eggs. And that is how they are different. What are some other characteristics that describe whales? Whales are mammals, and so they have a blowhole that helps them to breathe. So we can write that. Whales have a blowhole. But what is a characteristic about fish? Do fish have a blowhole? No, they do not, because they are not mammals. They are cold-blooded, and so how do fish breathe? Well, fish have gills. That is how they are different from whales. So we've listed different characteristics to describe both whales and fish. Whales, their outer covering, are different from fish because whales have fine hair on their body that's very, very fine. You almost can't see it with your eyes, but fish have scales that cover their body. Whales are mammals that give birth to live young. And fish lay their eggs. Whales breathe through a blowhole on the top of their head, and fish breathe through gills. And that is how they are different. However, they're both the same because they both live in water, they both have fins, and they both can swim. So this Venn diagram tells about how whales and fish are different and they're both the same. Now, boys and girls, you'll have the opportunity to complete your own Venn diagram. I'd like for you to take a look at your assignment. You have a sample Venn diagram that you can download on your homework assignment. And I would like for you to complete your Venn diagram and go ahead and complete your Venn diagram comparing and contrasting turtles and frogs and list the differences and the similarities between turtles and frogs. Good luck, boys and girls.